What up, B? All right. So the word today is metamorphosis, and they're talking more about just a rebirth, talking about an acceptance of a strengthening of, and they're talking about both sides of yourself, your shadow self specifically, about grabbing your shadow self and this sort of internal metamorphosis. And I'm just taking it kind of like a butterfly kind of effect, grabbing the lesser form, and not lesser on a scale, but the form that this society does not view as the better form, and realizing that that's exactly what you need to be your best self, to be your enlightened self, to be your transitional self, that's actually a key piece of where your divinity lies. That's a key piece of where your abilities lies. That's a key piece of where your sacred power lies. They're calling it a little bit of like a revival. This is linking into acceptance, but also like a form of nurturing, because when you adopt your shadow back, or you literally find strength in your shadow, a lot of times you have to nurture that part of yourself, but you also have to accept it back into part of the whole, back into one. And they're saying that this is when this breakthrough happens. This is when this understanding happens. This is when this elevation happens. They're talking about you kind of as a magician, and not necessarily in tarot. I think they're meaning it more in like the metaphysical sense of being very cosmic, but still having the ability to be grounded. And they're talking about your sacred energy, but they're specifically talking about the sacred energy that lies in the sacral chakra. And they're saying that there's a piece of that has not been fully tapped into yet, that has not been fully understood. And they're saying there's a more constructive way that you could utilize that energy than just bow chicka wow wow. And they're saying that there's a certain part of this breakthrough, this revival, this nurturing, and this transformation, which they're using metamorphosis, that goes directly into your abilities and you as the magician as a whole. And they're saying that the challenge that you face now is you've taken the time to evaluate, you've taken the time to watch, you've taken the time to listen, you've taken the time to reconnect yourself a little bit more with your roots, a little bit more with your soul, a little bit more with your left and your right. And they're saying that now, what are you going to do with all that you've witnessed? What are you going to do with all that you know? Are you going to shed the final mask and truly engage in this metamorphosis process, in this transformation, in this transcendence, in this adaptation of your fullest self? Or are you not? Are you going to accept yourself and all your perceived flaws and all your perceived shadows, but also all your perceived strengths and all your perceived abilities? Or are you going to waste it? And they're just talking about the need to nurture multiple sides of yourself. And they're calling this almost like the perfect storm. Not the pause before the storm, but the perfect storm. They're saying that this has everything you need in order to fly. This has everything you need in order to transform. This is everything you need in order to grab onto that sacral energy and grab on to that sacred energy and utilize it for this revival. They're saying that with this transformation comes a new beginning, yes, but it also comes the purity of having truly found wholeness. And they're saying that this is not the end, but just the beginning. But they're saying that this is what you need, that this is literally what's happening should you choose to take the time and nurture yourself, to accept all sides of yourself, to someone's doing burnouts. I don't know if you can hear that, but to be all that you can be. I know that sounds a little cheesy, a little corny, but they're really just saying that this is the time for peak transformation for you and you specifically. But they're saying that there's this last little mask that you're fearing taking off. And they're saying you need not to. You want to do it deep down. And they're saying that this mask has burdened you for a while and you know it doesn't fit you. And you're tired of playing this character. They're calling it a character in a game or on a screen, or a character on a play, or whatever movie set you have going on. They're saying you're exhausted by it. And they're saying it's time to accept that you are just as much cosmic as you are earth, that you are just as much dark as you are light, that you are enough as you are now. They're saying you need to nurture all parts of yourself, not just the parts that others find acceptable and others find nice. So take the time for the rest of the week, I guess, guys. Just take the time to truly look at all parts of self and realize that you need all of them to move forward. You can't shut one out, and you can't dispel one, and you can't leave one to the side. All is needed for metamorphosis to occur. But you have so much on the backside coming in after this revival. They're calling it the perfect storm for a reason. So, all right. I guess that's it. So, bye, D.